All right, so let's look at a few different techniques we can do, simple things we can do to just kind of address this forward head posture or the forward head carriage that a lot of us just develop through posture habits, desk bound life, texting all the time. What I'm doing here is I'm kind of taking this marker and showing you the general area of where you're going to be working, with the tissues you want to be loosening up, kind of mobbing, using lacrosse balls, tennis balls to kind of break up tissue and just kind of relieve some of this tension that you may have built up, okay? So what we're going to do here is your lacrosse ball. You can use a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball. Lacrosse balls are a little bit more intense than like a tennis ball, obviously, or a racket ball. So start where you feel good. Just because I'm using a lacrosse ball does not mean that you should use a lacrosse ball. Okay, so this is where we're going to start, right side and left side of the neck. So let's hop down here real quick, and we're going to look at two different ways of doing this. One way, it's a very simple side to side. I like this technique. It's also, you have to be very careful just because you're going from left to right over these strands or these cords of muscle fibers. So if you do have some tension, you have some tight muscles here, you might kind of experience a popping, like popping over that muscle, which is a very uncomfortable thing to kind of experience. So other way is what I'm doing here is the up and down motion. This is kind of lengthening, shortening, stretching those tissues under that ball, or whatever that ball is. You're using the ball basically as a trigger release tool when you're going up and down, stretching the tissues with that ball. So you can start at the base of the skull, right where these basically the base of the skull starts, and all the way down into your lower neck, into your upper trap right here. I'm not going obviously the full length, so you'll be working your way down as you do it in one setting. So now let's look at the upper trap, the big group of muscles here, or the big set of muscles here on each side of your neck that a lot of people have a lot of tension in. What I like to do is I start again from the base of the neck, not the skull, but the base of the neck. And I'll take my arm through some different ranges of motion. This kind of crams those muscles up and allows you and forces you really to kind of do some trigger release as well as movement under that pressure that kind of breaks up some of the tissue here and just kind of pumps some fresh blood into that area. I like to do internal, external rotation. I'll do kind of like shoulder presses while I'm on my back. Again, you're always moving this ball, so you may not need to work your entire trap muscle. Sometimes it's better to just do the lower portion, or the portion that's closer to your neck, or the portion that's closer to your shoulder. Find a spot that works for you, that is actually feeling some tension, and then kind of go from there. You're gonna have to use different tools. Again, I'm using a lacrosse ball here. This is pretty intense. So up in these positions here, when you're actually bringing your arm up, you may experience a lot more pain, discomfort with a lacrosse ball when compared to a tennis ball. So pick your tool wisely. Use it. You should not be put in more pain. You should actually feel a relief from doing this kind of work. Again, you can get creative with how you're using your arms, what you're doing, where you're placing that ball. Again, I would spend at least 2 minutes on each side. So if you're working on the neck, start from the base of your skull, work 2 minutes from the top of your neck to the base of your top of your skull, base of your neck, and then on your traps, same thing, 2 minutes each side. Not quite done. You stretched it, you mobbed it. Let's strengthen it. All right, let's work on some strength and conditioning aspect of the posterior head and neck. After you've kind of mobbed it up, you've mashed it out, we're gonna add some strength to the area. So what I do here, I use two tools, my hands or a band or an actual tie. Here I'm using my hands. What I'm doing is I'm applying pressure to the back of my head while at the same time pushing back into my hands with my head. So what I do basically is let my chin fall forward, tuck my chin, bring it back into the hands. My hands are a stiff wall basically, and I'm just kind of working out these things. It's kind of a hold, it's not a rep type thing. So I'll hold this for 15, 20, 25, 30 seconds. I'll do about 2 or 3 sets of this. Then I will move on to kind of a banded exercise. I like doing these over the tie. The tie is simply the same thing as the kind of that using the hand technique. This is a little bit different because the band allows you to make it a little bit harder. You can tone it back, tone it up, whatever you want to do. Same idea. I'm pulling the band away from my face and I'm pushing my head back against the back of the band. So I'm tucking my chin. Key thing is tuck your chin, maintain a neutral spot where you end at with that band. It should be a neutral position, okay? So 2 to 3 sets of this, 15, 20, 25, 30 seconds, work up to it. You look kind of goofy, just get over it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope this helped you out in some way trying to fix the text neck forward head carriage. Major issue, you've got to fix it. It's not going to fix itself. If you liked the video, be sure to share it with someone who you know has a snapped up neck. Subscribe to the channel. Better than that, go to my my website, fitnessforbackpain.com. Lots of free content that I put on there every week. I'm actually going through a series right now that you don't want to miss it. So go over to the site, fitnessforbackpain.com, hit like, hit share, and remember, guys, think before you move.